Fencing. It's a sport that combines elegance with aggression, grace with grit, and history with high-tech. Many picture sword-wielding nobles dueling at dawn, but fencing has come a long way since its aristocratic beginnings. With roots in medieval combat and a presence in modern Olympic arenas, fencing is one of the most thrilling and misunderstood sports in the world. Today, we're slicing through the myths and thrusting into the truth with 10 amazing, surprising, and downright electrifying facts about fencing. On Garde, this is going to be fun. Number 1. Fencing is one of only 5 sports featured in every modern Olympic Games. When the modern Olympics launched in 1896, fencing was one of the cornerstone events. Not by accident, Pierre de Coubertin, the founder of the modern games, was a fencing enthusiast himself. He believed fencing represented the ideal balance of intellect, athleticism, and honor. From the very start, fencing was included alongside gymnastics, cycling, swimming, and athletics. Unlike many sports that have rotated in and out of the Olympic spotlight, fencing has held its ground through wars, rule changes, and evolving sports culture. Today, fencing continues to electrify audiences across the globe. Athletes from over 150 countries now compete at the Olympic level. It's a testament to fencing's adaptability, blending centuries-old traditions with lightning-speed modern tactics, and it's kept this graceful combat alive on the world's biggest stage for over 125 years. Number 2, fencing is the fastest-reacting Olympic sport, quicker than a blink. Fencers train to react in under 200 milliseconds. That's faster than the average human blink and even faster than a sprinter's reaction to a starting gun. In fencing, every millisecond counts, and one twitch of hesitation can mean defeat. Because of this speed, the sport had to evolve. Judges could no longer see every touch accurately. So, in the 20th century, electronic scoring was introduced to ensure fair play. Now, fencers are wired into systems that track the exact moment and location of contact, down to milliseconds and millimeters. But scoring speed doesn't come from machines alone. Fencers drill endlessly to hone their reflexes. Reaction balls, strobe lights, footwork under pressure, all train the brain to interpret cues and strike or defend instantly. Watching fencing live is like seeing thought itself become motion. Number 3. Fencing includes 3 completely different disciplines: foil, épée, and sabre. To outsiders, a sword is just a sword, but in fencing, the weapon defines the game. Foil is about elegance and control, limited to torso touches and governed by right-of-way rules. Épée is the purest duel. Anywhere on the body is fair game, and whoever hits first wins. Sabre, that's a whirlwind of cuts, lunges, and attacks above the waist, moving at breakneck speed. Each weapon reflects different combat routes. The foil evolved from 17th century court duels. Épée was modeled after lethal duels with sharpened swords, where protecting everything mattered. Sabre, think cavalry charges and slashing from horseback, speed and aggression dominate. These weapons aren't interchangeable. Fencers typically specialize in one. Their footwork, stance, timing, and even mindset differ. Watching them side by side is like watching 3 different sports. It's a rare kind of athletic diversity right there within the same fencing strip. Number 4. Fencing began as military training over 500 years ago. In Renaissance Europe, a man wasn't considered truly educated until he had mastered the sword. Fencing schools, called salles in France, taught nobles how to fight with grace and precision, in preparation for duels, self-defense, or the battlefield. Historical fencing manuals from the 1400s to 1600s show intricate diagrams of stances, counters, and parries. These were no rough-and-tumble brawls. They were deliberate, codified systems. Swordplay was treated as both martial science and art form. Eventually, fencing evolved beyond military needs. By the 18th century, it had become a discipline of its own, a gentleman's skill, a dueling tradition, and finally, a competitive sport. But echoes of combat still remain in every feint, riposte, and blade clash we see today. Number 5. Electric scoring transformed fencing forever. Before technology, fencing relied on judges watching with their eyes and calling touchés. Disputes were constant. Fast fencers could exploit blind spots. In épée, where both fencers might hit within fractions of a second, controversy reigned. That changed in 1936, when electric scoring was introduced for épée. followed by foil in 1956, and sabre in 1988. Now, fencers are connected by wires to scoring boxes that light up and beep instantly when a valid touch lands. The modern system is so sensitive it can detect even the lightest grays. Uniforms and masks are wired and foil, and saber weapons use pressure switches in the tips. Judges still make calls, but they rely on real-time data. It's not just fairer, it's faster, more exciting, and undeniably futuristic. Number 6. Fencing gave us the word touché and a whole vocabulary. You may hear touché in witty debates, but its origin lies squarely on the fencing strip. In fencing, touché simply means touched. You've been hit, and your opponent scores. Fencing terminology is steeped in French. En garde, get ready. Riposte, return strike, parry defensive block. This stems from fencing's deep roots in French nobility, where the art of the sword was not only refined, it was romanticized. Even today, fencing competitions around the world use these terms universally. A Japanese fencer and an American coach might both call alley before a bout. It's a reminder that fencing isn't just athletic, it's theatrical, linguistic, and global in nature. Number 7. The invention of the fencing mask revolutionized the sport's safety. Before fencing masks, training was dangerous. Eye injuries, facial scars, and even deaths were not uncommon. That changed in the 18th century when Lavoisier, French fencing master, created a wire mesh mask to protect the face. The difference was immediate. Fencers could now train more aggressively without fear of permanent injury. The mask's success led to further safety innovations. Padded jackets, gloves, and chest protectors all became standard. Today, fencing masks are made with carbon steel mesh and shock-absorbing padding. Some even integrate LED lights and scoring sensors. What was once a blood sport is now one of the safest Olympic events, thanks to a simple invention that let athletes fight without fear. Number 8. Olympic fencing once flirted with real pistol duels. Seriously. In the 1906 Intercalated Games, a now-defunct Olympic experiment, athletes competed in an event called dueling pistols. Wearing protective gear, they stood 20 meters apart and fired wax bullets at each other. The goal wasn't to kill, of course, but to hit your opponent's protective mask or chest plate. It was bizarre and short-lived, but it captured the raw dueling spirit fencing evolved from. While pistol fencing faded fast, its memory lives on in fencing's honorable conduct. Even today, bouts begin and end with salutes. The sport may have lost the bullets, but not the battlefield respect. Number 9. Fencing is one of the most gender-equal sports in the Olympics. Women's foil joined the Olympic program in 1924, long before many sports opened their doors. Over the years, the other weapons followed, épée in 1996 and sabre in 2004. Today, women compete on equal footing across all fencing events. Rules, bout lengths, scoring systems, it's all identical. And some of fencing's biggest stars are women. Italy's Valentina Vesali won 6 Olympic medals. The U.S.'s Marielle Zagunis became the first American to win sabre gold. Unlike some sports where physical differences shift strategy, fencing rewards precision, timing, and strategy over brute force. That's why it's one of the best examples of true sporting equality. Number 10. Fencing is as much about mental agility as physical skill. Fencing is often called physical chess, and for good reason. A match involves not just attacking and defending, but setting traps, reading body language, and executing multi-move strategies on the fly. At the highest levels, fencers use second intention actions, pretending to make a mistake to bait their opponent into attacking, only to counter with a planned move. It's pure psychology in motion. Research shows fencing improves cognitive processing, reaction speed, and decision-making. It's also used as a therapeutic activity for focus disorders, PTSD, and mental clarity. Fencing sharpens the mind as much as the sword. Fencing isn't just sword fighting. It's a living bridge between centuries of history and the precision of modern sport. It's a dance of intellect, a clash of wills, and a showcase of speed, skill, and storytelling. Whether you've picked up a foil before or are just learning what a parry is, you've now seen the incredible depth behind those quicksilver strikes and lightning lunges. If this story cut through your curiosity like a well-placed saber attack, then you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel for more mind-blowing sports stories. Smash that like button and don't forget to ring the notifications bell so you never miss a single thrust of amazing content.